Okay, so these were my squats for the week of April 6th to April 12th. These were on Tuesday, April 7th. I'm working with a training max of 265, and I did 5 sets of 7 at 200 pounds this workout. Um, as far as the overall squats go, I feel pretty good about these. In my last couple reps, I lose tightness in my upper back and kind of tilt forward, but I'm still getting used to low bar. This past Sunday was actually my first time really squatting low bar, and I maxed at 265 and missed 275 a couple times. Just couldn't get a good belly of air, and there's no excuse, I just didn't get it. But as I continue to work with these, they feel a lot more comfortable than high bar, and I think they will quickly shoot up in weight. So I'm excited to continually work on these. I'm still playing around with the Olympic heel versus the flat shoe, but I got in all 5 sets of 7. Next, I did my pause bench. Here I'm working with a training max of 200 pounds. I didn't actually max out recently on this. Back at my first powerlifting meet on December 14th, I did 200 pounds pause, and I probably didn't have any more than maybe 5 more pounds in the tank. I've kind of been nursing a little bit of shoulder pain lately. It kind of stems in my neck, but it's starting to feel a lot better. This was 150, so 5 sets of 7 at 70% or 75%. I'm sorry, these are both 75%, and these felt good. I will see how it feels as I continue to progress in weight, because the last couple weeks it's kind of started to bother me once I got into my more 85% range. Next were my deadlifts. These are done conventional, working with a training max of 315. So I believe this was 235 pounds on the bar. I'm happy with how these look. For me, with conventional, when I put the belt on, sometimes I don't tighten up as well as I should in my low back, and it kind of turns into my hip shooting up and me pulling through my back. So it's just a matter of working on technique. I know I can pull more sumo, but I think conventional is a lot more beneficial, and so I'm going to continue to work on it and do sumo more as an accessory. But overall, I was happy with how these look. The last couple were a little bit my hip shooting up, but good overall. For my overhead press today, I didn't have a training max set, so my original anticipation was to come in here and do 95 pounds for 5 sets of 7, and I did the first set, and it was just pretty grindy. I know I bounced a little bit on the last 2 reps probably, so I bumped it down to 90 pounds for my next 4 sets of 7, and I was pretty happy with how these look. I think they went up pretty smooth, and I think I'll continue to progress with these in the future, so try for 95 next time around. Next, this was my Saturday workout, where I actually typically do more hypertrophy accessory for the squat, so I'd either do like a high bar squat or a low bar squat for sets of 10 or so, but I decided to redo my 5 sets of 7 at 75%, trying it in my flats instead. What I noticed about this is that my depth isn't quite as good, and my forward lean is a little bit excessive. I feel pretty comfortable in the flats, but I know that my form is probably a little bit better in the Olympic shoes, so I'm gonna, for the next couple weeks, continue to work with both of these, because I know the Olympic shoes are a little less effective with heavier loads, and just see which one I like more. But I'm really liking how the Olympic, or not the Olympic, the low bar squat feels in comparison to the high bar Olympic squat. So I'm just going to continue working on that and hoping to progress. It's just a matter of basically figuring out my elbow position, keep my lower back from rounding, my upper back tight, and not getting too far forward. Next up, I actually did a little bit heavier sumos this day. This was also Saturday, following those low bar squats. I typically do my sumos for sets of 6 to 8, just kind of as an accessory, and to work on it. It's just fun to move heavy weight. But today, I decided to go a little bit heavier. I did sets of 3, 3 sets of 3 at 275, and these actually moved pretty well. I felt pretty good. I was happy. I don't think my cervical spine was rounding as bad. It should be like where your neck points straight up into the air and you're looking at the ceiling. So a little bit of rounding on the 3rd rep, but overall these felt pretty easy, and I was happy with them. And this was my Sunday workout. I did power cleans and forgot to film them. This is more of just an accessory explosive type day, so I was working on some low bar pause squats just to continue working on the form. I decided to do some front squats. I always really struggle with front squats. I don't think these look great, but they're not awful either. My lower back isn't rounding. I am sitting back a little further than maybe I would like and getting a little more frontal lean. But I know as the load gets heavier, I start to collapse and kind of my hips shoot up, and I don't do this lift with good technique. So I'm just continually working with lighter weights and trying to get comfortable with the movement and increase my mobility there. And this was just kind of a for fun clip. Typically on my Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday workouts, I do 6 sprints afterwards, and then on Sunday I do more of a plyo circuit. So I did 45 seconds of jump roping, and then 25 double jumps, which you're watching here, and then 25 box jumps following that. So overall, this was a good session for the week. This next week will be 7 sets of 5, and I'm excited to kill it.